Hey guys, it's been quite a little while, so I'm going to be doing another Q&A today. I asked you guys on Instagram for some questions, and if you follow my Instagram stories, you also know that there's going to be a little announcement in this video. And I probably just put it in the title and spoiled it already, but we'll get to that later. First question comes from Matthew1862, and he asks, what is your favorite town or city in Game of Thrones? I don't really think that I have necessarily a favorite city specifically. To be honest, the reason that I really like Game of Thrones is the characters and the story. So basically whichever story happens to be most interesting at that time, or whichever character I'm finding the most interesting, that's the, part of the show that I really look forward to. I guess if I had to pick one place that maybe I'd want to visit, I'd pick Dorne. Maybe not like at this particular moment in the series where I am. I haven't finished the last series yet, but I have a funny feeling it doesn't get too much better for Dorne. But just the place in general seems like a really beautiful location, and I think it would be a nice vacation spot, minus all of the, bloodshed. Potatoed Fries asks, what's the first song that you played on the violin? I did the Suzuki program, which means that I started with the basics a few minuets simplified. I don't even remember, to be honest, what's in Suzuki Book 1, but I do know the very first song that I played ever on the violin was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I have got to say, I have hated Twinkle Twinkle Little Star since that day. Mr. Fail asks, why did you start making videos? I started making videos mostly because I think I was looking for a new way to try and reach out to people and communicate with people. I've been writing since I was really, really young, and I loved doing that, and that was my own personal project, basically. But I knew that that was something that, because I write novels rather than short stories, it was something that I wouldn't be able to share with people right away. So I wanted something a little more immediate. I wanted something where it was constantly pushing me to create more often. And I already was watching quite a bit of YouTube at the time. I just really liked the community and I wanted to become a part of it, so I started making videos. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce this username, but NHMNSY? She asks, are you more into self-learning or language courses? And if you use Duolingo to learn languages, can you make a review? I'm kind of into both, but to be honest, I haven't taken a language course since I was in my undergrad. So at this point, I definitely consider myself a self-learner, but I've taught English and I do understand the benefits of doing a course as well. It really just depends on the type of course you get and the type of teacher you get and how they approach it. As far as Duolingo, yes, I absolutely do use it. I use it almost every day. And I've actually been wanting to do a video about some of the apps that I use, so maybe that will be my next one. Clone But Not Forgotten asks, favorite Hobbit, favorite Dwarf, and favorite Elf from Tolkien. Favorite Hobbit, probably Pippin or Merry, maybe. Can I just say the both of them because they kind of go together most of the time? Favorite Dwarf? Probably just still Gimli. I'm just gonna go with the classic. I know The Hobbit just came out and there were a ton of dwarves in that I could choose from, but honestly none of the characters stuck out to me as much and are quite as lovable to me as Gimli. And my favorite elf is probably Legolas, although I have to say Galadriel is a fantastic character. Joshua James 7 asks, what fictional character's death or departure would you say hit you the hardest? I might just stick along the same lines with Lord of the Rings and say Boromir. But I also, of course, talked about some deaths in the Harry Potter series when I did the Harry Potter tag. That really, really hit me hard, and I don't know, those kind of compete as well. The Introverted Rose asks, what's the first crush you remember having on a fictional character? Obi-Wan Kenobi from the prequels. I was too young at the time to understand the criticisms that a lot of people have about the prequels, so I loved them, and I still kind of do because I have a little bit of childhood nostalgia attached to them. And I specifically remember how sad I was when the second prequel came out and he had a beard, and I was so distraught because it was just not the same. And I have one more question that I want to answer today, but I am gonna just pause here for a second and go ahead and do the announcement that I've been waiting to do. I'm moving to France. There are a ton of details and things that I'm currently kind of working out, so I'm not really going to say a whole lot about specific details, but it's going to be pretty crazy. I'm going to be going over, I'm going to be coming back, I'm going to be going over again. So if you want to keep up with me and wherever I am at a given moment in the next couple of months, then make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, because I'm sure I'll be posting tons of pictures and stuff. But yeah, the gist of it is that I'm going to be moving from the US again, back overseas, and I'm pretty excited. And of course, there might be some kind of cool content coming as well, maybe documenting a bit of this transition or some stuff I can talk about once I'm there. So let me know in the comments if there's anything in particular that you want to see. And so with all that said, I'm going to answer my last question, which comes from John Stom, who is one of my coworkers and friends, and he already knew, obviously, and he asks, what do you think you'll miss the most about living in America? I'll be honest, the last time I was overseas was for about 1.5 years, and the thing I remember missing just the absolute most was people. I really am not super tied to an area as much as I'm tied to the people that I know in that area. So I really think it's gonna be the same thing when I move overseas again. It's just gonna be people and Mexican food. I'm gonna miss Mexican food. So that's where I'm gonna wrap up today's Q&A. Thank you to everybody who sent me questions on Instagram. I know I say it at the end of each video, but honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing and all the other things you guys do. I'm super, super excited to be taking you guys on this next adventure, possibly my biggest one yet. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I'll talk to you guys on social media, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.